Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. And let me put this up for fair use, because there's probably some music in the background that you're hearing. I don't own copyrights to none of that music being played. That's actually a concert happening in my area, so man, I wasn't even expecting that. I thought it was going to be a quiet Sunday. Um, but first things first, hopefully everybody is having a blessed and productive Sunday evening. Hopefully everybody does enjoy their weekend. You know, whether y'all was at events or whatever. For those in the hospital right now, prayers that you get better, speedy recovery, and get out the hospital as soon as possible. Those who might have definite family healing prayers, definitely, because it's not easy. It's never easy losing a loved one. And just know the real people are here for anything in case you need it. Appreciate everybody that tuned in earlier this morning for the live stream. Shout out to my brotherhood TMZ for popping in on the conversation this morning. Tonight's title is Clear as Day. Breeze, what's going on, my guy? Again, I don't own no musical rights to the whatever you might hear in the background. I'm trying to find out who is performing out here today. Again, I thought it was going to be a quiet Sunday out here. Turns out it's not. But this message tonight is clear as day. At some point, I'll drop the link in case anybody want to chime in. Common psychological suffering. Um, there are some people in the world right now who are doing things that they know they wouldn't normally have done, or they have finally lost a sense of direction. In my opinion, that's psychological suffering. Something has brought a trauma into your life, or something has finally gotten you to a point where you know you're making wild moves, wild choices. Didi, what's going on, baby? Word, what's going down? What's going down, bro? Nah, nothing went down. Oh, nah, like I said, you hearing noise that they having a concert. I don't know who performed tonight. I thought it was Brandy for a minute because they kept playing nothing but Brandy music, but that ain't the case. I'll find out who the hell it was later. Um, yeah, again, you have some people in the streets who you would think is certifiable crazy, and some of them could be going certifiable crazy. Why? Because they are suffering. They suffering from the effects of karma, but they also are psychologically suffering. Um, you have some people. Prime example. I'm gonna use this. Y'all heard me say this the other day in my live. Young boy that I know out here. You know, I'm not used to seeing him out here on this stuff. But I think part of it with him is he's suffering some way somehow. And I believe it's from karma. Because for you to be out here on these streets as a fiend when you was never even thinking about going that route, something caused some sort of trauma or some sort of stress. And again, it's sad because the boy is definitely 10 years younger than me. Like, you still got your whole life ahead of you. You out here fiend out on these streets. A lot of that do be karma again. When you move in a certain way in the streets, you dipping and dabbing in certain things. At some point, you end up becoming a victim. You end up becoming that same statistic. We've seen situations where you thought these people was going to be good forever. They could never have a real downfall. And sometimes they be their own downfall. Why? Because depending on what you did in the world, that specific karma could come back. If it don't come back to haunt you physically, it can haunt you mentally. Some people are suffering psychologically because they still have traumas that they have never really gotten rid of. They haven't fully faced it. They haven't got some sort of piece of closure. Prime example, I would say for victims of sexual attacks, they are psychologically suffering because they are still, reposting that traumatic time in their life. And if they didn't get the proper healing, the proper talks, the proper anything, it could drive them off the deep end. Because again, the mind got to be, in my opinion, one of the most fragile but most important parts of your body. If your mind is fragile, your mind is not strong enough, you'll fall victim or susceptible to any thought that comes across you. So you got to be mindful again. When it comes to those type of situations, you got to make sure that this person is good. You have to, because at the end of the day, still human beings at the end of the day. You are supposed to show at least a level of respect and concern when it does come to people of those situations. Because again, look, you can poke fun, post, you can poke fun, post up dumb stuff, even go on the internet and make fun of things, right? But in the same token, karma's coming back. I watched a clip of a podcast. I'm not even familiar with it, but I didn't like the joke that was insinuated. Two guys was playing around or whatever. Looked like they was, roughhousing around or whatever on some. Put dude in the headlock, and then he had the nerve to scream George Floyd. George Floyd. That was cringe to me because again, that person lost their life because of a chokehold. An illegal chokehold on top of that. It's the same way. So you was gonna make fun of Eric Gardner too? Like, think about the jokes that you put out there before you just do it. And honestly, that podcast could have got kicked off of Rumble because of that. Why are you sitting there poking fun when you know this man just lost his life? Number one. Some people are still feeling the effects of his death. Number two. I don't care what the story is, his background story. The fact that somebody died the way they died, again, and then you're poking fun at it, you're going to suffer. You're going to have some sort of karma coming back to you. Potato water, what's going on, my guy? Didi, do me a favor. Go get Hood some potato water with ice in it. Yeah, bro, because this is my thing. It's one thing when you joking around, you trying to make fun and whatever with your podcast. All right, that's all good. But you still gotta be mindful of certain things you say or do because it's not a joking matter no more. When you are making jokes, especially when there's people, I don't care if you thought you was playing. That wasn't funny. I immediately turned that. But then that same thing almost got kicked off of Rumble because first of all, that's cringe right there. I don't care if y'all was joking around and roughhousing around. It's just some things you ain't supposed to say or do. And I didn't like that. And see, with podcasts like that, like I said, that was just a clip. I'm not familiar with it. Who knows? Maybe the podcast dude got some content on it, but just that scene alone made me not want to watch it. You might end up saying or doing something one day that somebody really not going to be happy with. And again, poking fun or even trying to use certain likenesses and names, knowing these people died because of stuff like that, is not just cringeworthy. It's flat out disrespectful. And you don't know what kind of boxes or what kind of Pandora's boxes you are open when you do stuff like that. Because now, what if the family would have came across that and seen that? You don't think they would have tried to come at you with some sort of civil suit or something? Bugged out. Think before you do. Seeing a lot of y'all, even when it comes to just you doing your own random jokes or you just doing whatever, you taking a chance. Look how many people is going to court now because of slander, misinformation, or just you poking fun at a situation that you shouldn't. Um, some people are suffering from psychological suffering because of extreme acts of racism. I just watched a video earlier where a lady was confronting the cop, but she did it the right way, and I respect that. See, that was a way to show people that you don't always got to get aggressive. You don't always got to get super hostile, even when they're trying to get hostile. Now, it was about to bother her two. It was about to bother her two kids. They sitting in the car. Mind now, she has the keys to her car, so they just sitting in the car. You getting ready to come bother them. Getting ready to come bother them, and for what? You thought they were stealing the car? Thought that they was doing something they weren't supposed to be doing? Like, come on now. That's a saying. You know, it really is. Sparky, what's going on, baby? You already know if y'all just tuned in, though. But hit the like button. Yeah, but see, this is not, like I said, this ain't a war, Sparky. I'm saying in general, it's some things that this is why you're gonna get psychological karma, or you want to get psychological suffering. See, you keep playing and poking fun at situations like that, it's coming. Oh, just like the person that just came in here, your karma coming. I swear, you must have missed me this morning. Go watch my replays. See if you want to be a pain in the neck then. Oh, oh, oh. And while you was in here, oh well, while you in the shadows, take this. See again, I believe karma is coming. And my bad. You know that anytime somebody come in here with the stupidity, they get one of those. Especially the same person that don't got it. Nothing else better to do. And this is what I'm saying. We we got to be mindful of the energy we putting out there when it comes to building, especially if especially if y'all building platforms. Prime example. Now again, that could be a good podcast, but from that one clip I seen, that made me not want to watch it because how many more cringe moments do we have? You know, there are a lot of cringe moments. Oh, this morning. Oh no, this morning. I know, bro. This morning, there was a lot of y'all that was missing this morning, but it's all good. I just wanted to get out the way while I still had a mindset to really talk because I came in here and went to sleep later on. For y'all that was expecting the music, my bad. I couldn't do no music as you might hear. You probably at some point going to hear loudspeakers. I don't know who performing tonight, but they going in tonight. I can't wait till September is over. You won't hear too much of this. But no, this morning I was just talking about a few different things because yesterday had a situation in my area happen, and it got to a point where it made the news. And it's crazy again because luckily that person didn't die, but still any type of headshot, 9 out of 10, and if it's a critical one, you don't know if you're going to survive. Sometimes it's slim to none you might survive depending on what you got hit with. Shay, what's going on, baby? Oh, wait, let me say something to this troll real quick before I finish doing what I'm doing. If you want to come in here and you want to be a pain, like I told you before, You're gonna have to pay to troll. If you can't understand pay to troll, you gotta roll. Don't need you over it. You're not gonna keep doing that. Look, I gave you a little grace period. Now I'm not giving you no more grace period. You better start hitting that super chat. You want to troll? Get up out of here with that. Roll up before your karma ends up coming. Immature person, get it? Yeah. This is probably a person that's suffering from psychological karma. You move in a certain way, and then you still move in a certain way. It becomes a repeated problem. Like this morning, I was talking about that situation. The sad part about it is the dude tried to get away on a city bus like you wasn't gonna get caught, and you didn't even still get out the hood. So why would you do something if you know for a fact you don't got no getaway, no nothing? This is what I'm saying about people thinking and not fully thinking through. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, then guess what? Have some sort of backup plan. Be smart about it. And I'm not even encouraging it. I'm just saying, you want to do something along that magnitude, you should have some form of getaway. Tamika, what's going on, baby? I hear you, Sparky. Listen, everybody want to be better. Again, we just got to keep the best positive things around us, you know. And there's nothing wrong with some strong positive talks, you know. But yeah, again, I could have, I didn't even watch it. I just seen a clip of it and just I turned it because I immediately got mad. Like, it's sad that y'all would sit here and make certain jokes. That's not jokeful. You playing around like you got somebody in a chokehold and then saying George Floyd. That's not funny. Same thing. I remember a while back somebody tried to do that same thing and try to say, "Oh, Eric, stop doing that. May those brothers rest in peace." But it's time for a lot of y'all people for real to stop poking and making jokes, even to the expenses of the dead. Because at some point, your karma does come back full force. And it might not hit you physically, it's going to hit you mentally and spiritually. And you're going to end up moving just like the people we see right up in the street sometimes, suffering from some sort of illness or damage because of something that they've done in their life and they're finally paying for it. Still, Jay, what's going on, baby? Come on now. There's no way you going to tell me that you felt comfortable to even do that. You got to do better, man. Like, you going to build and do whatever, even if you're going to have comedies, prime example. There's just some things even comedians don't poke fun at. And they poke fun at a lot of things, but there's even certain things they don't poke fun at. You can't poke fun, you can't make light, or you can't even make references, especially to somebody that died. It's time for that to stop because that's getting cringy and corny all around the board. I hear you, Sparky. Sometimes that's what you need a lot of times. See, that's the thing. Some people are gonna go through psychological suffering and they didn't even do nothing. It's not so much as they did something, they catch a karma for something. Sometimes it can happen, especially if you're dealing with a lot of stress. If you're a person that's always holding stuff in, that's not good because now when something does trigger you the wrong way, you know, you don't know what could happen. It could be literally you sitting in a psych building getting evaluated. You never know. But when you feel you getting to that point, even if you already suffer from forms of depression or anything along those lines, find something to do that's going to keep your mind off of anything negative because the more you keep thinking negative, the more it's going to impact you. The more it impacts you, the more you want to end up either hurting yourself or hurting somebody else. And again, you got to love yourself and love life. And I again would advise some of y'all that are going through psychological troubles one way or another to go get the help. If you can't get it, find something that makes your spirit happy. Find something that keeps your soul happy. And then you start, you start healing, start progressing from there. Yeah, but then you know what's crazy, Sparky? This is the thing. Uh, 'Cause I've felt like a couple situations, and especially people that died because of certain brutalities. There were certain things that just didn't add up. In some instances, yeah, you're gonna have your own community tearing up its own community, but in other areas, it don't even be the locals. It'll be somebody from a neighboring area. Or it'll be something along those lines. Prime example. Let me go back to that Mike Brown situation when they started looting and doing all of that. The things that was happening, it wasn't even coming from the people that lived there. It was coming from either the town over or they was coming from wherever. Same thing, they had a protest out here in the city one time and it went crazy and it wasn't supposed to. That wasn't us New Yorkers doing that craziness. That was people that literally didn't even live in the city doing wild stuff. It seems that anytime a situation like that occurs, there's always some form of distraction. James, what's going on? That's also psychological, you know, suffering because you showing us something all day, every day. You showing us the same repeated racisms, heated arguments, loss of life. You're not giving us nothing to inspire or look hopeful to. At some point, that should change. See, again, there's going to be things that I bring to this forefront that actually I'm not even going to. Oh yeah, I see some of y'all in here that wasn't in here this morning. Your boy is now on Rumble. So if y'all ain't following me, make sure y'all follow me. Oh, well, I'll put it down in a minute, definitely. I think I'm gonna try to test run that sucker, give and take. I could try it out probably by later on this evening. I had already posted up two little whatevers, but nothing crazy. I just wanted to make sure everything was on point. But yeah, certain things I'm gonna really start bringing to Rumble. So I can already see what's gonna happen. Because the way I really want to go off about the situation, it's not really going off. But I know I gotta play fair. So some things I can say, some things I'm just not gonna be able to say. But see, that is a psychological trauma right there. When you are presenting us the same thing every day: violence, corruption, death, destruction. Not even showing us something where things could be. And when you do show us something that's positive, it's stuff that we've already seen, stuff that we've already done accomplished. Yeah, I don't know who performing tonight. All right. Well, it ain't 50. I don't know. Anti, what's going on, baby? Yeah, but again, for some of y'all that just tuned in, I'm on Rumble. Just look for Nate the Great 25. You'll find me. I will try to give it a crack sometime. I was trying to see if not tomorrow, give or take, I'd do it Tuesday. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine, James. I definitely forgot about the games too. County a bit. My fault. I got distracted. I wonder who is out here tonight. Does this sound like the people outside are going crazy? Gotta be a big day. Anita, what's going on, baby? Where's Anita at? I hope she good. Um, Again, healing prayers to everybody that need it. Um, Before I even get deeper into this, but again, at some point, how do we stop those psychological traumas from happening? Psychological suffering, we should have to go to that. Hammer, what's going on, baby? Papa Will, what's going on? No, but see, this is my thing though. Where do we get to a better vision of things? We don't always have to accept and suffer those psychological things we see every day. There are some people who are good at not batting an eye at anything. Why? Because they kind of already expected the unexpected. You know, you just gotta be in tune with yourself. And I'm sorry, but I can't remember the name of it. I'll remember it tomorrow or probably later on. But either still, like jokes or references like that, especially when people know that's not fun. Again, there's some things that the funniest comedians ain't even doing because there's a respect level. And I've always felt like this: if you saying things about dead people, it should it should be more in a good light than anything, especially if a person was real to the core. You know, because it's almost like you are trying to tarnish. But then again, you can't really when the main people that know them, and have been around them can give you better stories than what you give. But again, when you are making references to people that are no longer here, it should be in a good light. That's the most respect you should be able to get. And even to some degrees, some people are not following that logic. But I feel like this on some point you do start breaking that psychological trauma and warfare by incorporating something that's grand. Some of y'all should really ask, what is it more important? What is it more important in life that's worth it for you and that's going to work for you? You think you want to wake up to an existence every day and you don't know what can happen? Or should you want to at least put something in your life so you know what's going to happen and it's going to be beneficial for you and everybody? The key word is you want to leave some sort of legacy when it is your time. You don't want to be sitting here, you done had precious time and that precious time done went because you was too focused on things that you didn't necessarily have to be focused on. And again, when you do focus on certain aspects of things, that's a psychological game being played. You don't necessarily have to entice it. But again, let's keep it a buck. Some of y'all are going to get karmas behind the stuff you play games with. And again, it's going to hurt you the worst way. Because for all you know, it could be that person's spirit finally saying, I'm tired of you playing and disrespecting. Take this. Let you see what it really is. And I believe in that. 'Cause I knew one or two people who mocked the dead on a daily. And even if they wasn't fully disrespectful, they mocked them regardless. They getting their comments right now. One to literally be talking to himself like he talking to the dude that ain't here no more. One I know for a fact committed suicide. Them traumas is real. And those karmas is real too. Some of y'all really delve in a dangerous game when you playing that. Rich, what's going on, my guy? I don't know. It's just it's sad that this is what you are looking at right now in society where things should be a little bit more better. Should be seeing a little bit more advancements, but instead we still getting the same old letdown. You know, people encouraging the wrong type of madness when it's not encouragable. And I'm sorry, it's not encouragable. You got to remember this one thing. There's just some things you can't put on there and think it's not going to come back to you. Keep on doing it. It might not come right away, but you'll start seeing signs of it. Like I was saying earlier, respect not just of life, but respect of the people who have lost life. That should be common back in the people again, because it makes no sense. You're basically showing us the same old, and some of the people who are actually trying to fight against it or really trying to give an awareness to it, y'all still giving them hassles for it. So again, how can all of these different barriers in the society be broken down if y'all keep falling for the madness? You keep falling for the peanut butter and jelly madness. Like, come on now. There are some things that you just are really going to have to say, nah, I can't do this no more. You have to gain some strength and composure in yourself. When you start showing things like that along those lines, it can start getting a little more better, especially for those who are coming behind you. Those who are coming behind you can actually pick up the ball in case one of you fall. So it's like you'll never miss that. Same way you got smart, strong adults, you have smart, strong kids, and you have smart, strong elders. It takes the strong people to really come together and see what I'm talking about. You know, serious, what's going on, baby? Um, but yeah, see, that could have been the start to a psychological suffering moment. Going back to the video with the lady. Yeah, and this is another thing. Some of these law enforcement officers, we already know they don't play fair. If you happen to come across those ones, there's still ways to deal with them. Because at some point, you got to start going through the process. Because not everybody does deserve to wear that blue and white. I'm sorry. There are some who really care. Some of them people are actually from there. So they try to at least keep up within the community. Because again, it does work both ways. Definitely works both ways. But if you're not showing no real grit and you just showing that you all for it, hey, you're gonna keep the psychological process going. And you almost traumatized her because who knows how if she wasn't there, who knows what could happen. You assume that you see two young men sitting in the car that they was criminals or they was possibly like whatever. You know, it was a good thing, and she handled it the right way because in certain situations, even the way she was handling it, we've seen some situations when people were calm, collective, and still lost their life or still got wrapped up in jail for some madness. See, there are ways to deal with people, especially those who you know, deem to be a threat. Because that thing right there, in my opinion, guess what? That cop could be doing that to other people. You never know. So again, you know, that could have caused a psychological effect right there for most, because that would have caused something else greater, another greater distraction that we don't need. It is crazy though because she was calm, cool, collective. Now she got a little upset, but not too crazy. But she had all rights to because the cop literally told her to shut up. Like, how are you trying to tell her to shut up about her children? And you trying to accost them? And they, first of all, they sitting in their own property. In my opinion, they sitting in their property. That's what I'm saying. It be too much. You know, you gotta think about that. You know, you might have a situation where it could get critical real quick. And why? Because you got pure ignorance like that. Again, she's doing what she's supposed to do as a parent. Because again, why would you even think that that was the case? First of all, you see that it ain't no keys in the car. It's because it's obvious you already assessed the situation before you thought of anything. You see there ain't no keys in the car and they ain't looking for nothing. Why bother you? And I'm not gonna lie, there are certain situations where they think it's about to be something and it don't be. So then, ain't that supposed to be a part of your job? Observing what? Don't sit here and say, "Oh, they doing this." No, for all you know, they could be helping somebody. They could have been holding the car down for them until somebody came back, keeping the car warm. Some of these cars still are on that type of time. We get this car warmed up. So, Tanya, what's going on, baby? Go again. Think about that. You know, you could have traumatized them kids because they still kids at the end of the day. I think they was 14 to 15, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta relook at that, but even still, they was young. You could tell they was young. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Yeah, you gotta be mindful because you do have some youngins who are out there doing stuff like that along those lines. But if they ain't moved, they ain't doing nothing, they ain't showing those signs of criminal activity, why would you even try to bother them? And certain psychological traumas are being presented because we still have the same corruption in place. Day in and day out, we have the same corruptions happening left and right. Something we really need to battle against. See, there are certain situations where people are just going to get straight calm. It's not even going to be psychological. It's just going to be straight calm. Because again, the energy you present out there, the things you present out there, it'll come back to bite you. But I'm sorry. Um, I respected the way she did that too. But I'm kind of mad because again, that cop was definitely rude, and this is why there's certain things that need to be fought from the inside out. Because again, not all of them are, not all of them are pricks. Not all of them are on that type of time. A lot of them do be trying to, you know, You be trying to get in order with y'all to be trying to reach out with certain things. But when y'all not talking because y'all got distrust because of certain things, again, you can't blame everybody for everything. Oh, something else I wanted to bring up too. So I seen a clip, can't remember where, but I seen a clip, and a girl was sitting there lying, saying that a guy basically pulled a gun on her and got her number. Like, in my opinion, I almost laughed, but I couldn't laugh. The only thing I could do was shake my head. The fact that you would say that, then you were still calm about that. Again, there's people that are just pandering off of people's needs and don't see that. They don't see that at some point they gonna get they look gonna get exposed for it. Because I'm not lying. No way you gonna try to say, oh, a guy pulled a gun on me for my number. And then the same token, you trying to say, oh, I'm taking his, oh, you, and in that same token, while you doing that, what you think I'm doing, give your information out. I don't believe you would be that calm if that was the case. Because I've seen people who have got guns pulled out on them and they ain't been the same since. So, right there, I don't believe that. And you was, again, too calm for that. Too calm. Anybody that had a traumatic experience, whether it was recent or whether it was just happening, there's no way you going to tell me you was calm about it. Stop it. See, this is why I'm saying people playing games like they're on the psychological level, trying to get the quote unquote simps and people to crash out. Start evaluating before you start defending. And if you have to defend it, you do what you have to do. It's crazy. And you don't even know, again, Pandora's box you opening because there are people who actually, again, had guns pulled on them. And you don't know how they been. Or you don't know if they had a psychological effect on them. And for some people, it can get to a point where it's, oh, okay, this happened to me. It won't happen no more. So I'm going to be ready to be strapped. I'm going to be on it. And again, you don't necessarily have to go down that road. You know, come to better terms, coming to better understandings, we could break these psychological sufferings. Some of y'all that know what keeps you happy under stress, you're going to have to amplify it times two. Or really find something that's going to give you a subtleness and a calmness. Can't be too pent up. You definitely can't hide the energy. Not supposed to. Supposed to let the energy go, especially when you know it's hurting. Anything psychological, that hurts. And it's not even just about forget the physical aspect, the spiritual aspect of it. You know, it speaks in high values. You know, because it will open up the doorway to some people to say, well, wow, I never thought, or I never would have assumed that this was something that was going to happen. You know, and I'm just saying, man, listen, at some point, you got to stop falling for those curses. Because that's another reason why we have it on downfalls. We see certain things and we quick to run to emotion on it instead of thinking logically. And there are some situations, no matter how much you want to go to bat for it, it could have just been a karma that was needed to happen. Again, we all know how that book is designed. We all know how that book of life is designed. Certain things are going to happen because of karma, but it's still happening nonetheless because it was something that was already in the works. And when it's already written, it's already written. But there are other things that are not written. We have the opportunity to actually change that. Again, we could break psychological effects by just ignoring the things that are going to trigger us spiritually and trigger us emotionally. Mookie, what's going on, my guy? You have to come to that. You have to come to that term of agreement, man. Because again, we shouldn't have to keep seeing the numbers dwindle as far as people who could actually be beneficial to the future world ahead of us. And again, I don't believe that's something that you really should be playing with anyway. I don't care what platform you're on or what kind of stage you're on in life. There's some things that are always going to be cringeworthy because you're playing around with certain things you shouldn't be playing around with. You think I'm talking ill about anybody dead right now? I don't know. And there are people that I could have talked foul about to this day, even in death, but I chose not to. Why? Because no, it don't sit right. But again, you got to remember when somebody's gone, carry on the. But a lot of times with them, a lot of people, the positive outweighs the negative. People that are going to say things on you, and if it's not good, they get their karmas one way or another. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get this in order. There's a few things that threw me off, but again, even that today was crazy. And again, I applaud that lady. Because she did what she was supposed to do as a parent, to protect the kids, like most people, protecting what's theirs. And you are supposed to protect them. But all in all, though, it gives us a clear example of why some things we need to pay mind to, and some things we just don't need to. Things we really don't need to, some people choose to because, hey, it's a form of entertainment, right? But that's also causing a little bit of a psychological hit on you. Again, you gotta think, what is our common goals in life? What can we achieve in life that's going to make us all whole? So we can at least get to a point of all having our own one way or another. The first thing we should be trying to do is trying to get the people who need that help the help they need. It's for they better. Now again, if that person is willing to accept and take the help, then you should help. If they not, then you already know what it is. There's only also what you can do. You can just give that to the man upstairs because again, you're not supposed to hold on to nothing or any type of burden that's going to make you, lose your focus on life. Because again, some people gonna want to have to help themselves. If you need the help, then get the help. And when the people are trying to help you, just do so. And I'm sorry, back to this girl too. You lied and said that a man pulled a gun out of you to get your number. What movie does that sound familiar with, y'all? I'm being petty a little bit. What movie does that sound like a little bit? So you gonna tell me somebody pulled a gun out on you for your number? You ain't that traumatized. You didn't call the cops then, anything? This is what I'm saying. You got some real evil, despicable people out there that just try to pander one way or another off the people. It's crazy. That's something that should never be played with. See, you gotta call your way at some point. Because if it didn't happen, or if you lying about it, at some point, guess what? It will happen to you. That's gonna be your psychological karma coming back. And it's definitely gonna mess with you. I feel it. Because you was too calm and you seemed like you was trying to like shay about it. Nah, this is not no game. If somebody really gun pulled out on them, they would have been going apes one way or another. Next, he was going on, baby. Y'all already know if y'all tuned in, the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Sorry, you got some people lying, and then you got some people that are pushing that button, and it's like I seen something that was crazy, and I'm just like, and it came from my own melanated people who got me tight. But then I was like, I get where you was trying to go with it, but still, you had to figure at some point that wasn't going to end well, or that wasn't going to sit well with some people. So then be mindful of what you pushing, how you pushing things. You know, it was a situation where a dude said, "Tell me that you white," without actually telling me that you white. That in the same token, like how somebody said, "Tell me that you black," without telling me that you're black. First of all, you're not a color. See, I'm about to break this down right now. See, I feel like I'm gonna be the one doing this tonight again. You are not a color. You are a race. You are not the color of a shirt. Not a color. You have to get that correct. You're not a color. You are a person at the end of the day. But certain things like that still sets the boundaries of division, and it sets a psychological, barrier between people. Because again, not everybody is thinking the same way you think. And even if some people have gone through specific things in life, like most people have, some people are not letting it affect their overall life. And when it did affect their life, they knew how to assess it, and they knew how to definitely put it into a way where they ain't think about it no more. Or that was a lesson of humbleness just in case. Like, just in case if I think I'm untouchable. Oh, wait, I remember last time I did get touched. Okay, let me calm down. Certain things along those lines. Look, you play games where you really sit here live saying that somebody did this to you. Oh, another thing that threw me off today. Yeah, I'm glad about it. Glad about it today. I want to say something again I'm saying it to some of you women out there. I'm sorry, but this is becoming something that shouldn't be done at all because again, you are affecting and ruining people's lives. Hold on, appreciate you. Let me put some respect on that real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me put some respect on this. I gotta give her the double whammy, yo. Double whammy, yo. The double whammy. Hold on. Appreciate you for that cash app, baby. Well, see, this is my thing though. Um, now speaking to some of y'all ladies out there, especially the ones who how should I say it, scorn, or they are really mad about certain things that they shouldn't be mad about. You need to really like take this into consideration because again, you mess up people's lives when you cause certain lives. Now, there was a video surfacing, and this is a prime examples again of why I say there's some things that you brothers are gonna have to really start recording, especially when you know for a fact this could damage or you see some sort of damage coming your way. You got spiteful women like that who try to lie and even coerce the kids to lie. And I've seen this not just once, I actually seen this on TV, seen this on a show. You try to coerce the kids to say that the father or whoever did something to them when you know they didn't do nothing. That's something that needs to stop. Because again, you are messing up somebody's life that don't need their life messed up. And again, why would you try to pin or even put certain things like that on somebody when you know again that has a psychological effect? You gonna have somebody going through jail and possibly going through whatever, or might have to register for something that they ain't even supposed to register for. You women don't know when you do certain things along those lines, and it comes to find out it's a lie. At some point, you gonna end up suffering some sort of karma, and you should be suffering some psychological karma because let's be real. No way you gonna tell me you gonna lie. And I watched this lady literally trying to coerce her daughter to say he did something, and she said no the first time and shook her head no. So you was just really still gonna go that deep for what? Because you got some sort of disdain for him? This is what I'm talking about. If you are upset about certain things, if that man is good one way or another and not showing signs of doing you wrong or doing you like a dog, if they actually doing what they supposed to be doing, why would you try to set them up for that type of come on now, try to set them up for that type of injustice? You're bugged out. Again, fellas, when you think you got situations that could be eerie for you, you better start recording. Same way they be trying to record it. Because again, it's gonna be a situation just in case, okay, I got a lawyer and I got evidence. And I'm gonna show that I'm innocent, regardless to what's being said of me. And that's crazy. That again, you still would even go that route. You literally try to get that little girl to lie. I'm glad he was recording that. Because see now if it wasn't recorded, it would have been her word versus his. Hustle, what's going on, my guy? But again, we have to stop doing that. Because again, who suffers more? The kids, not you. The kids. They suffer psychologically. Why? Because they want to know exactly why their parents are at odds or why it seems like they can't come together. And every time they do, it's some sort of negative drama that shouldn't happen. Again, there are certain things that should not be presented around the kids, especially when they are of a young age. I don't think I'm supposed to be fighting or slapping people up in front of my kid and they looking at me. That's a difference if I have to do something because I'm protecting my family the way I'm supposed to. Especially if I feel it's a situation where it could get critical. Oh no, we're not doing that. Other than that, not gonna sit there and do that. That's crazy though. The psychological things that happen on these kids. Come on now. Gotta witness somebody, getting crazier for what? They don't need to. There's some things y'all should just be able to contain yourself with. If I know for a fact it's gonna make my kid wild out, nah, I'm not for it. I don't need it. No, again, you are supposed to think. But I don't like that you would sit there and try to coerce that little girl to a lie like that on a man that's probably doing the best he is doing. And that's what I'm saying. Look, if y'all had y'all separation, y'all break up, whatever the case is, it's not about y'all no more. It is about the children. It's about the child. So what do y'all have to do? But again, I'm gonna tell some of y'all fellas, yes, y'all gonna have to start being more mindful. And if you see something look like it's gonna be a problem for you, you need to either put it out there as far as recording it the right way or using it for if a situation does happen. You know what? I don't want to speak to you because I know you ain't gonna listen to me anyway. I want my lawyer, and I'll present my lawyer with what I gotta present my lawyer with. I'm gonna have to do so. Psychological effects right there. Because again, it's not just that person that you putting a lie on suffering. You are letting that child essentially suffer. And imagine when that child does say, "Well, why this happened? Why did that happen?" And you come to find out you were the reason why. How you gonna be able to tell your daughter in case something do happen to them? How you gonna be able to look your daughter in the eye and tell her this is what happened? She gonna resent that. Trust me, these kids keep a memory on certain things. It's not a game. They keep a memory on that. And they gonna resent you even more because you really broke a bound that you shouldn't even broke in the first place. It's the saddest thing in the world when y'all still playing games like that. It's time for it to stop, man. Be serious with yourself. Because you weren't want it done to you. Because trust me, and I'm gonna say this to some of y'all spiteful women, if the shoe was on the other foot, you definitely know you wasn't gonna be for it. There's just some things you have to understand. Your children are the greatest things to you. And if you love them like you claim you love them, then guess what? You're supposed to be doing. Um, Not breaking the bounds, not tearing them away from the other parent, regardless of what's going on. Letitia, what's going on, baby? And I think that's the saddest thing too. When a kid is literally questioning why this is going on or why is this happening. Then when they do get older, they come to find out you're the reason. Again, that you have to stop using the kids and you have to stop being so detrimental with what you're doing because of your emotions and because of your attachments. And again, brothers, you're gonna have to start making sure you recording certain things. Because again, when it comes to that system, you know it's gonna be your word versus hers. Shut the fuck up. Move. Not to let you sit outside. But it's crazy. Again, you want to sit there and try to let that girl lie like that. I'm glad he recorded that. And if something does happen, that's evidence right there that she was trying to coerce something. World famous, what's going on, my guy? Dan, what's going on? That's what I'm saying. We got to come to that conclusion that that's not the way to go. Because again, You cause a trauma in that kid's life that they ain't gonna be able to trust you no more. Anita, what's going on, baby? Hope everything is well with you. Um, that really sets a nasty taste in your mouth, and it should, honestly. Because no real woman is going to have their daughter or their son lie about something, especially when it comes to their father. I don't care what you going through with them. And sometimes it don't even be that deep. Again, it just be too much emotion. It don't make no sense. Like, and that video is circling around, but this is something that we see that's not really being presented in a bigger light, and we need to start putting that out there. 'Cause again, it's not right. It's not right at all. You gonna tell me you gonna sit there and try to get that person, gonna get that child to lie on their father? Come on, now. That's a karma that's coming back to you because now you do end up putting somebody in your life, and that person really is on that type of time. You set yourself up for that. Your karmas come when you put certain things out in the world that you shouldn't be putting out. That right there with some of you women should not be one thing to be done. Because again, you're not just affecting the father's life, you are affecting that child's life or them children's life, depending on how many y'all got in the clan. And it still don't matter. You messed up. That don't make no sense. You would literally sit here and tread that boundary. That's a boundary that you can't come back from. Because again, kids will resent you one way or another one, even when they get older. Disrespect you to craziness, but they will resent you to a degree because they all really realize this was what it was with you. And again, it's sad because you're trying to teach your child something, but in the same token, you're also counteracting something you putting into play. So, what is it exactly that you're trying to get them to learn? What is it essentially you're trying to tell them? What are you giving them psychologically? Are you telling them psychologically that they should be doing this when it comes time to do it? Especially when it comes to a young woman, you teaching them, or you raising them in life. No, what are you raising them to do? To say that if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. No, that ain't right. If this person breaks your heart some way, somehow, if this person happens to hurt you one way or another, even if it ain't on a, you bugged out. Teach them better. Really bugged out with that, man. And y'all have to stop doing that. And I remember that happening on the show too. I was watching a court show years ago. Same thing. You know, this dude done went to jail, almost had to register as a sex offender, etc., etc. And come to find out, everything that was being said was a whole lie. So that means you had a whole you damn near had the whole town against you, including your own family at one point. And come to find out that truth came out, I felt bad because in that instance right there, it's like, look at this. And in that same token, that dude could have wilded out and said, F all of y'all. I really told y'all I was innocent. Y'all sat here and just, he could have went left, but he didn't. See, when somebody has real strong faith and humbleness, they know a lot of times their innocence is going to get proof. Even if they have to go through a test or whatever, it does happen. But it shouldn't have to happen. Y'all got to stop lying. Stop lying and saying that these fathers are doing whatever to their kids. 'Cause no real father is trying to do that to their kids. And if they doing something, they ain't no father like material. That's a deviant material. That's what I'm saying. Be mindful of what's going on. And if you feel something ain't right, then guess what? That's when you do your just do. Y'all supposed to do something. That is the saddest thing in the world. Again, you really try to. That hurt my heart. I was like, why would you really try to sit there and do that? Again, you causing all sorts of drama and traumatic stresses that's not needed. I don't know, y'all. No doubt, Anita. Get you some rest and feel better. We still here for you, baby. Telling you, some of y'all will catch that karma. And that karma is going to hit far worse than what you put out there in that world. It will. You know, we have to start breaking those. We have to start breaking those options. Bringing the right options in as far as you got to eliminate stuff we don't need. That's continuing to corrupt us one way or another. See, even with that, that's corruption right there. You corrupted a young mind to lie, even under to the point of causing some harm to somebody that don't need to happen. So again, you are essentially messing up the thing that you producing. Producing this child into the world and trying to let this child grow. But at the same token, you showing that child that it's okay to lie. And if you have to get your way, lying is going to be your best form of doing it. Again, that sets a bad precedent for them. So what are we doing here? You know, are we going to continue to follow this road of psychological warfare? And we obviously shouldn't, because again, at some point, the people are gonna stop taking heed to that. But again, brothers, do what you got to do as far as you have to keep the safety boundaries open too. Keep those safety walls open. You need to, because when it's all said and done, trust me, it's gonna always be your word against hers. It's gonna be your word, her word, and then the actual truth. And in certain instances, you're gonna have to record because again, they might believe her before they believe you. And I hope that brother do. Not gonna lie, I hope that brother does get custody of his child because that's something that shouldn't be presented to no child. You try to lie. Again, some of y'all will cry about oh, you got no good fathers, so on and so forth, when that's not even the case. A lot of times you are keeping your kids away from them fathers. And again, for some of y'all, I can understand it because it is a safety issue when it comes to certain situations. But everything else, that solely lies on you. You want to use them as pawns and keep messing with their heads on all levels. Again, this is where we gonna keep getting these type of anger issues and aggressions from. I'm telling you, really, it's time to open your eyes. Because again, when you got kids in the world, it's not about you no more. It's not about that other person you with. It is about essentially them and how they turn out in the world. Again, it lies on you. We have to come back to some sort of reality. Like I was saying earlier too about certain things. Some of y'all claim y'all got issues. Yeah, you got issues with people, but you won't take it to the old form of taking it. A lot of y'all still scared of they get embarrassed, or some of y'all just feel like, yeah, I gotta. And some of that is because again, you got the wrong people that's always instigating or always trying to poke fun. Even after the situation is gone, it shouldn't keep being revisited every so often. You know. Yeah, don't hold out, bro. My fault. I'm catching up the chat. Don't hold out, bro. Go get yourself checked out. I look here. I just had this talk the other day about that. Your health, man. Not you, but in general, your health. If something ain't right with you, go get yourself checked out immediately. Bro, if within the next 20 minutes you still if it get any worse, you might as well go. Again, don't second guess yourself. I'm telling you. 'Cause I've seen some people do that. Oh, I'm good, and then I should have went when I started to. Follow your gut instinct, man. But again, I hope that brother and brothers alike like him who are going through situations where you have these women trying to lie and even use the kids to lie. I hope these brothers do get the custody that they need. Because again, some of these people don't deserve to be parents. They don't. Don't make no sense. You gonna tell me that you wanna feel comfortable with enticing and putting a lie into your kid's head? Exactly, Charlie. You heard what I said. You heard what everybody else said. Nah, go get yourself checked out, bro. If it persists, keep son. Go get yourself checked out, because you hope it ain't something else serious than that. I'm telling you, that's another thing. You know, certain instances tonight I just gave y'all of again psychological suffering from a lot of us and for a lot of us because of the things that are being presented to us on a day in and a day out. We get people getting all out blatantly disrespectful on all levels, don't care. It don't make sense though. Y'all gotta stop with that though, for real. You know, because at some point, when them kids really start resenting all of y'all, nothing you can say. You put it out there. And yeah, bro, go get yourself checked out, my guy. That don't sound right neither. Oh man, I'm telling you. Nah, you ain't interrupt nothing, bro. I'm glad I looked at it just now. I was trying to catch up too because I'm really still trying to figure out who performing out here. But it's crazy. Um, again, we have to come to this conclusion. There's just gonna be some things you're not gonna be able to place out there in the world without catching some sort of psychological trauma and psychological suffering. And that karma is real. It goes deep. You playing and pandering on people who have severe mental health issues. At some point, you might or somebody in your family might be going through it, and it could get worse. And they can hit you one way or another, and definitely impact you. And if you're going to tell me that certain things in life don't impact you one way or another, that means your spirit is dead. And you are the type of people we might have to watch out for. And I'm sorry, I thought that lady's spirit was dead for doing what she did. You ain't messing with him because he did this to you, and she shook her head no and said no, and then say yeah, and then that's the only reason why she said yeah. So you trying to stop you teaching kids. Kids always want one way, but when they try to start, it's not the way to go. Being mindful of who you place your seed in. Ladies, be mindful of who you letting implant seeds in. So, this is what I'm saying. We have to come together at least on that level. You know, yeah, I'm really trying to figure out who the hell is out there, but it's crazy though. Um, you know, you're not supposed to do that. And again, think about it. That's a moment right there that at some point you look, and it's on the internet too. So again, at some point they're gonna see what's what. Even if you think you getting away with something, clearly you ain't. They gonna look and say, "Well, damn, this is what it was with you. You was really that hurt and upset that you was really risk everything for that." Telling you. And now you causing a psychological trauma to them because now at some point they ain't gonna be able to trust nobody in life, or they gonna feel this is the way they gotta get what they gotta get. All that. Gotta set a better boundary for that. If you can't come to terms to where y'all could both coexist and do whatever, then I'm sorry. Shoot, I feel like this. Something gonna have to be done. But again, I would advise y'all to do so. If y'all gotta record situations because you think it could get critical, or it could be a situation where you feel they gonna try that anyway, yeah, get yourselves in order. I don't know, man. This is type of things be sickening again because you don't want to hear it, but yeah, and still we still coming across it day in and day out. I mean, man. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, fellas. Y'all all have to start getting it together for real. 'Cause when there's kids involved in this, there is no going back. You either gonna stand up together and do what you need to for the better of them, or don't stand together at all and watch them suffer and crumble. And Charlie, yeah, go get yourself checked out, bro. Go definitely get that, bro. I would say people who are suffering from the ills of psychological suffering, and it's not your fault. Just remember, you have to find a common piece in the ground to where you can start healing, start processing, start getting rid of that thing that's lingering on to you. But for some others, they psychological suffering is coming from old karma. Yeah, well, Charlie, look here. I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro. Regardless to what, you gonna have to go. If you know you really ain't feeling all that high up, go get yourself done, bro. Telling you, you gonna make it worth sitting there not going to get it situated. And you're gonna be sitting up in the hospital longer than you need to be if you do have to go get something done. Again, your health is your wealth, bro. I told you that a while back when you was in here. Your health is your wealth, bro. Go do what you gotta do. So you don't wait around. See, tonight message was it was what it was. Um, Something that was needed, something that I feel should be shared out. Because again, we have to come to a conclusion of not hurting each other for the psychological purpose of it. Some people do things because they want to cause that effect. They want to see how they affect somebody. You know, but again, when you see that it's a tactic You don't bat no eye at it. But when you see it's becoming more than a tactic, now you have to react and you have to attack it. Seeing like situations where I was just saying, that don't need to be happening no more. Again, you brothers are going to have to start recording certain interactions because you know when it comes to you and the system, they not trying to hear nothing when it comes to y'all. And you know that already. They will literally take any and everybody else's word over yours, even if you're in the right. You know, it's crazy. Again, you setting up people for failures they don't need to be going through in life because you having some sort of petty interaction with them, or because you felt you was trying to just put the blame on somebody and you just randomly did that to somebody. That's that's something that shouldn't be done. And again, essentially, your kids and the future behind them, it essentially lies on how you set the blueprint in that family tree. Bro, again, you women cry about it's not enough men coming to be fathers, but some of y'all literally pushing them to the streets. But then again, I'm gonna tell y'all brothers too. You have to start fighting for yours because guess what? They came from your seed, son. So what does that tell you? You always are supposed to fight for your kid no matter what. Doesn't matter how it happens. You have to make sure your kid is straight. Especially if you know your kid could be with somebody that's just too emotional, and we see what happens. They produce the worst in the areas. Ones that are bitter and unhappy produce bitter and unhappy kids. Sorry. You need to come back to that notion that fellas, start fighting for yours. Because again, not just on that level, fight. Because if not, them kids will resent you too. That's what I'm saying. We have to present the best messages out there so we can start breaking these psychological sufferings and psychological moments that are basically dividing and destroying us. Talks like this help. We're going to continue to have these talks. And I'm sorry. At some point, that has to stop. The constant division, the constant hate, the arrogance, the deceitfulness, the connivingness. Things have to stop. And for those who are poking and saying that they've been victims of situations or their kids been victims of situations and it never happened, just know that at some point that karma does come back on all angles, and you're gonna feel that. And you can't blame and point fingers this time or even do anything because nobody's gonna believe it. Mandy, what's going on, baby? No, no, listen. Serious. I just said that earlier. Certain situations I can understand. But there are other situations where, again, these men are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're being moved away from their kids. So, again, how can you say I'm a deadbeat father if I'm always trying to be in my father's life? Or if I'm always trying to be in my kid's life and you keep pushing me away? That's why I said some of y'all brothers, at least the good ones I'm talking about, start recording things like this. You think you got one of them spiteful women or you got people who just are doing things in the wrong light? No, make sure you are recorded for the right purposes. Because again, at some point, it's going to be her word versus yours. But at least if you got evidence proving otherwise, it'll give light to the people. But again, it all lies down to you. Your choice of your choice of specimens, if that's what you want to say, that's solely up to you. Who you produce kids with in this world, that is solely up to you. But the one thing again that should not be ever accepted is a parent trying to force their kid to lie. That's just not acceptable. Hold on 1 second. There's something wrong. But again, we gotta be one step ahead as far as seeing the possible dangers on things. Again, preserving your life. Some people have a psychological traumas because they don't witness death around them, literally been around death, so on and so forth. And those have long lasting impacts. Some not for the good, you know. Some people have come to a point of even hurting or even possibly killing themselves because they they can't suffer, they can't deal with it. It's becoming too much. But link is in the chat in case anybody want to chime in. Not going to hold this conversation. At some point, I got to get myself prepared for work. And I'm kind of being lazy, but I just get this out the way. But again, this was just a part of the things that, again, cause a lot of psychological suffering amongst most people. Got some people who have dealt with lies, dealt with deceit, dealt with real death. And some people, yeah, it's going to be a momentary lapse. Going to go through your morning phase and everything. But then you going to have some that never get right with it. But I would tell people at some point, this is how we break down this thing communication. If I know you clearly unhappy about something, the best I could do is at least try to make sure you get to some form of happiness again. But don't get it twisted either. That don't mean you're supposed to walk over somebody or even try to get crazy with them either. Good communication and respect. That's how we break a lot of those two. Communication and respect. And some people lack the form of communication. They lack it because they used to the obvious. Oh, we about to have a problem. It's about to spark over. But not all situations are going to end up like that. You have to think well above and beyond because it's starting to get real crucial now. And again, you don't want your kids wrapped up in the system. You don't want your kids in the early grave. You definitely don't want them doing things or following the same type of trends that you see people following. You have to start setting a better example and a better boundary. And again, y'all have to come together. Come together for the betterment of that child. I'm really upset because, you know, I didn't know what to really expect in the video. I thought it was just something random. I thought it was about to be one of them wholesome ones until I heard the girl get crazy and tell her, yeah, he did this, that, and third. And that little girl's looking at her like no and said no, but then you still trying to force her to say yeah. You scaring her into lying. You forcing her to lie. That shouldn't be acceptable at all in all angles. And again, I hope that brother does get custody. Because he don't seem like he, you know, presents any of those mannerisms. Again, you have even to a point that causes psychological damage to some people, you getting accused of something that you know you didn't do. And again, some people will do that because, in the grand scheme of things, they trying to get the ultimate attention. But at some point, that ultimate attention will be a downfall. Because when the actual facts and truth start coming out, and they see that it wasn't so savory with you, now look, I've been presented out there. There's a hole in it. So, what else could you possibly say? Nonetheless, though, it's something that at some point going to have to get rectified. Because again, it is essentially about the growth of that child or the children. It's not about y'all no more. Personal feelings and spats should not get in the midst of you raising your children the best way. But for the brothers who are trying to be involved and they having situations with these type of women, again, record and make sure you have witnesses to everything. Because again, it will be your word against hers. And 9 out of 10, they gonna definitely try to take her word. Especially if she a good actor or a good actress. She a good actress, oh yeah, she definitely gonna get off. But again, you brothers keep yourself strong and do what you necessarily have to. Because we know sometimes people do make mistakes, and it's granted. But again, that shouldn't affect you being a part of your child's life one way or another. But, I just wanted to chime in tonight, definitely. And again, I could have something for the members of the board that could cover the upload, or I probably could just have a members only live or something. And again, y'all not following me. I'm on Rumble now, so I'm gonna have to get into the process of that too. But like I said, there's gonna be some things I'm probably not gonna bring here, and just to quote unquote follow the restrictions and everything else. I'm just not gonna bring it here, and I'm gonna be free to say and do whatever. Carlos, what's going on, my guy? You ain't following me, you can follow me on Rumble at the Great Nate. No, my fault. Nate the Great 25. But I will try to test run that, give or take. I could try to test drive that sucker tomorrow. I hear you, bro. That's exactly what I'm about to be doing in a little bit. I gotta start getting myself ready. But nonetheless, though, conversation like this was needed, and hopefully, a conversation like this will get repeated out there. Because again, we gonna keep batting it into the people's hands until it registers that we have little time to be focusing on the wrong stuff and creating the wrong type of havoc. And some of y'all having psychological suffering because you're putting it on your own. Just remember that part. You having psychological problems because of things you're putting in possession in your life. You want to possess some positive energy. If you're not, let the suffering begin. And on that note, I think I'm gonna have a part two to this. Oh yeah, it's been a couple part twos coming. I ain't that far over. I only got three part twos coming. Probably delve a little deeper into this one too. Um, But again, we are gonna show the world something better. And these messages today are gonna be one of them. If they didn't inspire you, they didn't at least get you to think consciously about something, then the message wasn't for you. And maybe the message is for you, but I'm not the one giving it to you. But it shouldn't matter who gives you the message as long as it's brought to you. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I'm gonna try to test run Rumble tomorrow. I'll see how this pans out. Um, but yeah, like I said, start building and bringing things on other platforms. Something better. You know, I don't plan on doing but so much as far as just giving words of encouragement, and at some point, you know, actual methods of really getting something off the ground that would be beneficial for the common 9 to 5ers and everybody else. Um, but again, we gotta break that chain. And when we are getting beat psychologically, we getting beat all around the board. We got to start being stronger and presenting stronger options. You know, it really is time to get this course of motion and board right now. If you don't see that, you don't see a better future, and we'll never get one. Or if we do, we gonna have to fight hard and long to get one. But I'll get myself up out of here. I'll be running around these streets tonight, definitely. And again, you know, definitely gonna try this Rumble tomorrow. We'll see how this pans out. Um, and again, I look forward to trying to at least produce the best options just for the best thinking methods in life. Like I've been said before, even if I am a part of something that could be something beneficial for the world, even if it's just by words, that's better than nothing. And it just goes to show you're gonna have people that are true and determined with their grit. We all want to see change coming in some form, and at some point we will. And when those right people see what time it is and they actually wake up, oh, we gonna be a strong force to be reckoned with. Um, I don't know that part. I'm gonna test run that tomorrow, but not for that purpose though, Letitia. Like I said, there's just certain things I'm not gonna bring here because I'm gonna respect all of these restrictions and policies. I don't have time for a lot of the. I feel like I gotta do this, or you want to tell me this because I was being truthful to what I feel I need to be truthful to, speaking to my people the right way. And again, I don't allow too many people to try to step on the creativity or try to keep me in a certain box. This right here, in my opinion, is a certain box. When I decide to bring everything, it won't be in this box. James number 8, late for work. Look at you. Late for work, man. I'm about to catch that replay, bro. Matter of fact, I'm tired of you coming in here late like you actually did Sunday day on the Sunday time. Here, go get this. And take one for good measurement. Happens when you be sleeping late in the club. See, you woke up in the club, didn't you? See? Care about you rolling your eyes, man. Listen, And I hope them pills don't work today, man. You be sleeping in the next 20 minutes. Oh, I know that, Letitia. But see, at some point, the main people are going to have to stand up even against that. Because you can't sit there and try to argue and combat something when you know you're right on something. That's just pointless. Not going to waste time arguing with fools. Not going to be doing that. Again, if you're not seeing that we need to really rise up and show the best intentions in the world for a better world, then we lost. And I would hate to even say that because I'm still optimistic in everyday life. But me being a part of this build and this growth, doesn't matter how it happens, doesn't matter where it takes me. I'm adamant about change. We need to start changing. Every little thing that we change becomes something better for those future ones behind us. Yeah, I know. I know, Letitia. Trust me, I know. Yeah, Papa will, but guess what? Some of them they not, because you know, again, if it ain't benefiting them, it ain't benefiting nobody. But that's why I said I'm gonna try to test run this out tomorrow, see how this pans out. I could probably try to give you a 2 for 1 on there. Let's see how this pans out. Um, and I think that's the best alleyway to do it before I even get up out of here. We give a couple extra minutes. That's probably the best way to do it sometimes. 'Cause I know some of y'all definitely want to, bring the best content you can bring, and you don't want to be stifled. And yeah, I can somewhat see it like how I see with the writer's strike. Y'all try to stifle people's creativities. There are people that create stories or create scripts that actually grab the people. Just like with you bringing content on, with you bringing something good to a platform. You're being yourself and you bringing the best brand, but you feel you got to be stifled because certain things you can't say, certain things you can't do. People want to try to report or try to troll or do certain things that, and this is what I'm saying. And when you put restrictions on certain things that never really had restrictions, now again, you kind of stifling the growth. Oh yeah, this is for fair use. That's why I got that copyright up. Don't get me twisted. I gotta learn how to play with y'all to a degree. Well, at least over here. Anywhere else, I don't really do the whole. Yeah, I don't do all that. I don't know about that yet, Papa. Will at least on my end. Like I said, the first time I tried to get it, I couldn't even get it. I couldn't even get the thing on my phone to download. I don't know why, but like I said, um, I'll definitely try to, test run that tomorrow. Definitely, if I can. Like I said, who knows? Probably try to give you a 2 in 1 special. We'll see. Um, but again, let's always remember too. Some of those people are going to try to cause psychological damage or effects to you because again, they don't want to see nothing outside of their own misery, and that misery is their happiness. Don't give it to them. Um, but like I said, I'll have a part 2 of this. Let me get myself up out of here and get myself together. Definitely was always a blessing talking with y'all. And again, healing prayers to those who need it on all angles, whether it's health wise or spiritual wise, because you had deaths around you or suffered some traumatic events. Just know that people are here and we all are here for a good reason. This is an area that you can come and be yourself and grow. But again, the one thing to remember is that there's respect levels. And there's everybody in here who does have respect. And if you're coming along to really build, come along and build. But like I said, there's gonna be things I'm not gonna bring here, so you better start following me on Rumble. Forget Twitch. I'm not even worried about Twitch. I'm gonna focus on what I'm gonna focus on. And if that is a better alleyway, then guess what? Some of that content will be up there. So definitely appreciate talking to y'all, and I'll definitely see y'all. I'll probably see y'all tomorrow morning or tomorrow early afternoon for the site. Y'all know what it is. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. Like I said, I'll definitely try to. No, but I might try to tinker it a little bit tonight. I'm not doing nothing on it. I'm just gonna tinker with it a little bit so I can get accustomed to it. But I could test drive it, like I said tomorrow. You know, you might get a 2-for-1 special out there. Might get some content and some other stuff. So see how this pans out, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. I'll see some of y'all running around these streets later, definitely. Until next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.